What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we've got a Chicago Bulls and Toronto Raptors injury update as we discuss the Raptors and the Bulls and I guess, what's going on from them. Both teams obviously having big injuries for this game and stuff in between. But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls, the upcoming game against the Raptors, and which injuries play a massive factor in who is likely to win this game. Now again, for the Bulls, it's kind of all well expected, but let's be honest, this is because it's a Bulls channel. If you're a Toronto Raptors fan watching this video, you might not know the players that are going to be out here, so let's get started. Patrick Williams, obviously, with his moon boot, is listed as out for this game against the Toronto Raptors. Now, some people are suggesting that Patrick Williams' injury is more of a precaution than anything, and he's not seriously hurt. Some people are still suggesting that Patrick Williams is seriously hurt. So we won't really know until the evaluation process is complete and we actually get an update from credible sources from the Chicago Bulls. So until then, I would expect Patrick Williams to still be out for quite some time. That's my honest thoughts and opinions on the situation, but at least we know for the short term, since we have a back-to-back as well that we got to be very aware of, Patrick Williams will not play this game against the Raptors. Then, of course, we got Zach LaVine out with an ankle injury. He got injured in the last game against the Raptors. It looks like he's going to be reevaluated very soon, and I do believe the Bulls might be considering keeping him away from the court until either he gets traded or until the trade deadline occurs, and something might be able to happen there, or maybe after the trade deadline he will return for the Chicago Bulls if he doesn't get traded. But again, he will be out from this game against the Toronto Raptors. That is a key guy for the Bulls. We'll wait and see how we perform without him on the court once more. We obviously got, again, Torrey Craig being out. He's been out for several months now. And yeah, he's expected to return fairly soon, I would say, but not right at this point in time. I would say in at least another couple more weeks. And then you've got Lonzo Ball, who's going to be out for the remainder of the season. Those are all the guys out for the Chicago Bulls in this game and in future games against the Toronto Raptors and other NBA teams. So, with that in mind, we look at the Toronto Raptors, and they are not shy with their injury list as well. They've got a G League player, ladies and gentlemen. Let me quickly find the name. It's Marquis Noel from the G League. He has a left hamstring injury. He's listed as out in this game against the Bulls. Not necessarily someone that people might have key eyes for, because he mainly plays in the G League. But at the end of the day, if he was going to get that step up for the Raptors at any given point, he is listed as out against the Bulls. We got Jakob Poeltl. ESPN have done a very poor job here because his status suggests he is out against the Bulls. But if you actually read the detail of his injury, it actually says he is questionable to play against the Chicago Bulls. So questionable is 50-50. So I don't really know where to go with this. I just think ESPN should be more reliable and more credible and fix their mistakes. That's all I could really say about this situation. But with Poeltl in, what does that mean? The Bulls won't get the luxury of paint domination. Poeltl's a very good rim protector, very good shot blocker, and is not someone that you can easily move away from the paint. So that is something that's going to hurt the Chicago Bulls. Poeltl always plays well against the Bulls as well, which will not be a pleasant sight to see. And we won't have a very similar game from the last game against the Raptors compared to this game against the Toronto Raptors. But if he's out, that means the Raptors will have to play smaller once again. That means guys like Vooch and Drummond can both dominate the paint at will. That also leaves guys like Kobe White, DeMar DeRozan, and everybody else on this Bulls team a chance to drive into the lane and actually get a shot off without, I guess, having a fear of the shot being blocked, and potentially could get to the line a little bit more as well. So I'm very, very happy, I guess, with the Bulls if that can happen, but I don't want to wish a injury on anyone, especially for Poeltl, who was out in the last time out. Poeltl's a very likable guy, and yeah, I hope he can get better as soon as possible if he's available to play. But the paint production will be sorely missed from the Chicago Bulls if Poeltl is in this game. So we'll have to wait and see. But again, not the type of guy to wish injuries on anyone. Let's move over into the next one. We've got got Emanuel Quickley with a quadricep injury is listed as doubtful to play against the Chicago Bulls. Doubtful is a 75% chance he may miss this game. So a high percentage that he'll miss this game, unfortunately. Now, Emanuel Quickley is the type of player that can go off at any given game and is a very young point guard with a point to prove. He's someone that I'm often fearful of when we do play, for example, the Knicks, when we played them, and now the Raptors. It's definitely someone to be mindful of, someone to be fearful of. But it looks like he's most likely going to miss this game, which means you'll probably see Dennis Schroeder take the reins in the starting point guard spot, and he too is a very valuable point guard for the Raptors that can make an impact. Last but not least, we've got RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett, with a knee injury, is listed as out and will not play against the Chicago Bulls. Now, one of the Toronto Raptors' best players, you could say. You got Scotty Barnes right there, performing fantastically well this season, but RJ Barrett is not that far behind him. He's a very, very good productive player, a solid scorer, and someone that can hurt the Chicago Bulls when he's able to play. He hurt us in the last game that we played against him. He absolutely hurt us in a big way, getting to the rim, scoring his threes, getting to the line. Again, a solid production night for RJ Barrett when he last faced the Bulls, and the Raptors will be missing some of that. So I think both teams are struggling with injuries, safe to say. The Bulls don't have Zach LaVine, their max contract player, Patrick Williams, their best two-way player. They don't have Lonzo, obviously, their starting point guard, and obviously Torrey Craig, a very solid bench contributor. All those guys are missing. The Raptors could potentially have their starting point guard, their starting shooting guard, and their starting center out of this game. So both teams are going to be struggling in this timeout. It's one of those situations where I do feel robbed of what could have been a great game, but at the same time, we verse the Raptors all the time, it feels like, so I don't necessarily feel that robbed compared to when you verse the Nuggets, for example, and Jokic gets ejected from the game. But who do you think ends up being the favorites now with all these injury concerns and all these injuries for both teams? I'd like to know what you think in the comments below. The Bulls coming back home. I hope there's some momentum there that we can use to win this game. And then we've got a back-to-back to focus on very soon also. Thank you for watching. Drop a like and a follow and or subscribe if you are new. And I will see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.